Subscribe our channel if you like this video. Also press bell icon so that you will never miss another update.
How do people call you?
People normally call me with my first name Radish, otherwise my full name is Radish SV.
Okay, Radish, can I verify your ID?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
In the first part of this interview, I'll ask some questions.
Okay.
Do you think handwriting is still important?
Yeah, handwriting has got its importance still, because sometimes people have to write. It is true that we have laptops and mobile phones and we do not write that much. Still, there are certain exams which we will have to write. So if the handwriting is not legible, certainly we will get less mark.
Okay. Do you usually write by hand or write using computer?
Yeah, in my case, I normally write. I just draft emails for my for my relations. I do not write that much.
Okay. So just talk about newspapers.
Okay.
Do you often read newspapers?
Yeah, not that often. Still, yeah, I spend at least 10 to 20 minutes reading newspaper, because in my office there is a daily subscription. So without fail, I just try to spend at least 10 to 20 minutes there.
Which do you prefer, reading magazines or newspapers?
Yeah, magazine is not a choice for me, because I just read newspaper only. I don't get that much time to read through the whole magazines.
Okay. So how old were you when you first started reading newspaper?
I must be 5 or 6 years, because in my early school there was a teacher who actually asked all the students to make some reports on newspapers, and since then I just started reading newspaper.
Okay. Do you care about the news?
Yeah, certainly I care about news, because in my friend circle normally we always have some discussions about what is happening around the world. So getting updated is quite a necessary thing for me. So for that reason I just read newspaper.
Do you prefer to reading domestic or international news?
I don't think about whether it is international or national. Because when there is when there is some popularity for a particular story, I just go through so that I can get updated.
Okay. So the second part of this interview, there is a cue.
Okay.
The question is: talk about a public facility that improves or influences local life quality. What the facility is, where is it, how does it improve the quality life, and explain how you feel about it. Okay. So this is your question. You are given a piece of paper and you can use this pencil. You will get 1 minute for your preparation. Your time starts now.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Sure.
Okay. People always want some facilities around them because it makes life of the people easy. So here I'm going to talk about a public facility that we got recently. It was nothing but a shopping complex. In my city, before 1 year, there was no any shopping complex. Only shops were there. It was a small city, and people, whenever they wanted to, they had to purchase something. They just went to different shops. Shop to shops. They had to travel. It was lot of time. It consumed a lot of time. Similarly, they did not get any kind of discounts. All the things were at higher rates, and whenever they had some major shopping, they just went to other cities for this purpose. But later, when the authority recognized this problem in the city, they just considered constructing a shopping complex The shopping complex is of huge size. It has got all the branded showrooms, and I personally made a visit, several times, and I found it was like any other shopping malls in major cities. It was having different items in different floors. For example, in the ground floor there was parking, and the first floor there was vegetables and grocery. In the second floor there were some garments, and such kind of an arrangement is there. So people do not waste their time there. They just effectively manage their time while they are shopping inside that building. This has changed the life quality of life a lot. Even when my parents asked me to bring something, in the past I had to travel to other cities. It was a tedious task for me because I wanted to spend most of my time in my fruitful things like my studies and all. But these days, after the construction of this shopping complex, I am just having a wonderful time in the city.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay.
The third part of this interview, I will ask some more questions. What measures should be taken to deal with damage on public facilities?
Yeah, it is quite disappointing that some people, damage the public properties. So I think government has to take some serious steps. For example, they have to install CCTV cameras, surveillance cameras, with the help of which they can book such kind of people. And certainly they have to implement law system accordingly so that no people will do this again.
What facilities do old and young people like in your country?
Can you rephrase the question, please?
What facilities normally do old people and young people like in your country?
Yeah, in my country, young people normally like the facilities like if there is a cafe, or if there is a restaurant, if there is a dance club, such things normally young people prefer. Similarly, when we talk about the older people, elderly people, they after their retirement they normally spend their time lonely in their homes. They want to have some clubs where they can spend some quality time.
Okay. What is the differences between facilities in your countryside and those in the cities?
Yeah, a lot of difference that we can see, because in cities, no facilities are absent. I mean, all the facilities are there. People are enjoying their life there. But in village areas, unfortunately, people are having a lot of troubles. Actually, they don't have even the basic facilities like transportation. So I think large scale difference we can witness.
Okay, tell me something about the transportation system in your country.
In my country, we can, as a whole, we can say transportation facility is much better. We have three alternatives. Air transportation is there. Then, we have train networks throughout the country. Similarly, for shorter distances, people depend on public bus. Yeah, this is actually the transportation system.
Okay, that is the end of the interview.
Okay, thank you.